Lab is a blockchain research and development lab that works to promote blockchain adoption in various industries. With me is the Chief Technology Officer, Alex Lebed of xSigma. So, and you were with Facebook and Amazon, so you've had quite a bit of tech experience with a lot of big companies, right, Alex?
Hey, Jen. Yeah, thanks for having me. It's correct. So it was quite a journey. I work also for 1inch. It's a leading DEX aggregator in a space, and I'm full-time in the blockchain since 2017.
Okay. And then, so why this? You've been working on stable coins, right, for a while? And what brought
Yes. Well, it's kind of personal story, to be honest. So I came from Russia, and unfortunately, during my short lifetime, I have a twice experience in my life when local currency totally crashed in 1993 and 1997. And not only myself, but my parents got hurt a lot. So, and it's a very unfortunate situation where hardworking people, my mother worked as a teacher and father as a firefighter, they lost all possessions because someone from a governmental body did something wrong. And it's like you work really hard for your life and you lose everything because someone who make a decision mismanaged it. And I thought, well, what can be done better? And when Bitcoin went out, so I didn't trust it before. But when it became clear what technology is viable, I started having interest in working in different projects and finally joined full-time in 2017 when I joined underground hacker club called Decentral in Vancouver. It's a very nice place. And since then, this was my personal interest, crypto and stable coins especially, because it's what a real economy shows, what instead of gold, people use dollar right now. And in blockchain, inevitably, we will come to a similar system in terms of usability.
Well, your story about your parents in Russia happened to people in the U.S. too. So it's, during the financial crisis and the housing.
Absolutely. Even now, even when everything's seemingly great, you will lose 10% of your money this year because of how much dollars were printed in 2020. 38% of all dollars were issued in 2020. So this will kick in eventually. So yes, it's a common around the world, but obviously it's more bigger problem in the developing countries like Ukraine, Argentina, Venezuela, etc.
Very interesting. So how does your work at xSigma make a difference? You kind of touched on this, but how can everyday people use the technology to make their lives better?
Great question. And so where our parent company comes in play, so basically how it structurally looks, ZKIN International is a Nasdaq traded entity and it owns xSigma Labs. And xSigma Labs developing all these DeFi projects. So basically have this somewhat specific positioning of being affiliated with a Nasdaq traded entity and having completely decentralized DeFi project help us to kind of join best practices from those two directions and help to make an easier transition or entrance from people from a classical finance, speculations, whatever, stock trading world into real world DeFi applications, not some private intranet, private blockchains, but real Ethereum based, completely not custodial solutions. And I think this is a very unique proposition of xSigma here.
Mm-hmm. And then so we've got a lot of kind of economic things going on globally. Well, there's NFTs. How would people be able to use those to their benefit, would you say?
Oh, yeah. This is a current boom on NFT things happening. And xSigma launched an NFT platform to trade these collectibles from a sports player, basketball in particular. A lot of big stars from the sport join this platform. But ultimately, only this is kind of first step because digital art as an NFT, it might be here for stay or might be just a short-term trend. We don't know for sure. But technologically, NFT platform is great. You can tokenize everything from real estate to the business. So this is very, very huge market. And this NFT digital arts, it's only a first steps on a very big, yet undeveloped market.
Right, yeah.
So stable coins.
I don't think people realize, they look at people and things like that. I don't think they realize that same technology can be applied to real estate, any kind of creative thing. I mean, so I do think, NFTs are going to certainly develop. And then
it's going to be massive.
Yeah. What about digital dollars? Like, we've got China coming up with one.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, so I see it ultimately, as a bigger trend. Like we see what during COVID, like unfortunate event, but a lot of companies who didn't touch even internet before start moving towards digitalization. People working remotely. These companies start using internet. Inevitably, people and companies who use the internet will use internet money, which is like happens to be a cryptocurrency. But since the real world operates in a kind of dollar-based, fiat currency-based, like a unit of measurement, everyone will use sooner or later some sort of a stable coins. And we will see already trend where a centralized like a banking system of China and United States, as well as Europeans, all moving towards, let's have our own digital currency. Mm-hmm. And right now in $2.5 trillion market of a cryptocurrency, less than 3% of this money actually in stablecoin. This is nothing. We expect in the following year, like at least triple in terms of stablecoin value. And the following 2 years, it will be at least 10x. It's our projection. So we expect that market of stablecoins will totally like blow up, but not all stablecoins were born equal. Like biggest player right now, USDT, while being great asset, is totally frozenable. Like they can blacklist any wallet at will. And it happens already 400 wallets get blacklisted with hundreds of millions there. So we feel that people should have a choice. And when there would be some kind of events when people would like to move from one type of stablecoin to another stablecoin, it's where we come into the play. Already like a stablecoin trading volume way exceeded Bitcoin trading volume.
Interesting.
So it's very, very emergent, very like fast growing market.
Mm. So what are the things you're most excited about with xSigma, your near term milestones that you're excited about?
Oh, we have an announcement actually launching our stablecoin DEX on the Binance Smart Chain. And a part of like our NFT platform will also scale inside chains like Binance Smart Chain and a Polkadot. And it's basically emerging ecosystem which is like have a best practices from a decentralized world. So it's all like governed by token and stuff like that. But from UX point of view, from usability point of view, we came from a classical finance. So people who feel comfortable to like trade in Nasdaq might find themselves like a very uncomfortable position actually as a first gateway to transit into this DeFi world using xSigma as like a first and a very transparent gateway.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I take it that you're see a lot of growth in the future, partly driven by technology, partly driven by government spending, lack of trust in the system. I mean, how do you see the future of this industry, blockchain and crypto going forward?
Well, the thing is big money, it still didn't come into Ethereum. So when you speak about, DeFi already like in a bubble, it's grew up like 100 times. Well, it is grew up in 100 times, but it's still like nothing in comparison with the scale of a classical finance world. So big money, like big hedge funds, people who manage like pension, stuff like that, they haven't even heard about what is Ethereum future of finance. It's like, it was like a very big capital people. They know what there is something exists on a blockchain, but like DeFi would be massively like growing. It's like in infancy right now, like a $70 billion market in a scale of world economy. It's like nothing. It's a drop in the ocean.
Yeah, well, and I think DeFi is going to shake up the entire banking system.
I cannot say like how exactly it's gonna like change the banking system, but it's very impactful for sure. We already see like a lot of banks, like private banks as well, they start having internal transaction using some sort of a blockchain solutions, just because of unique properties, advantages what this blockchain like private key possession funds have. So I cannot speculate how exactly the banking world will look like in 10 years from now. But what cryptocurrency will stay, this is for sure. What DeFi will grow, like no question, it's gonna grow like X10, probably X100 as for now. Because like I never felt that good using finance solution. Before it was like boring, it was complicated. I was like always in a kind of doubt whether my money would be frozen, like because of some kind of like verification process, etc. Like I keep 99.8% of my personal money in crypto. So I never felt better in my life in terms of not because how it performs, it's good, but it goes up, but just because I the only person who owns this money. No one in the planet able to seize it. Nobody in the planet would able to question it or some kind of prohibit as a Robin Hood. Oh, you cannot buy this stock or you can buy this stock. No, there is no one to govern. It's like completely decentralized and like open in that sense.
Right. Well, the financial system always favored the people who already had money. And blockchain, it seems to me, will help people without money gain money because it's more democratic. So hopefully more people will participate.
Well, it's actually a very serious topic because like blockchain and Bitcoin in particular, while being great, I mean, how you get Bitcoin if you don't have it? So we see that in terms of like, since I'm into stablecoin market, there are like different good approaches like DAI, for example, very good stablecoin of maker. But like in terms of scalability, it just doesn't scale. And we see that some solutions, some innovative solutions, which try to incentivize like more like million of people come to the blockchain by receiving this kind of share for free, will hopefully can bring like not just a lot of new users in the crypto, but also kind of like equalize, because there are some cool concept where you can solve the problem of having like a decentralized currency, but also saving UBI in the same time. So I'm very like into those kind of solutions and like super excited to see how it play out.
Okay. Well, it's going to be exciting to watch all this. So I think we're in for some big changes. Thank you so much, Alex, the Chief Technology Officer at xSigma.